All right, let's start with the third question. So this is the third question. So now we need again make a sinogram when object. And for the rest, you see over here, you see again the same objects, but then here the darker object of a sphere is more shifted below, and the ellipse then has an rotation of 45 degrees. Let's first start with part A, that is this image, and then part B is sketch the phantom on the right. Alright, so in here we have the image. So again we have our sinogram over here. So again minus on the left, plus on the right. Then the angles starting here. Let's start at 0. In this case we go from 0 till 180 degrees. That should be sufficient for now. And then this is 0 degrees. Alright, so now in this case our starting angle is given. So this is over here, which means that this is 0, this is 90, and over here 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and over here 360 degrees. So alright, let's start with the first detector at 0 degrees. Alright, so let us now first focus on this object right here. So we are more focused on the outer part. So focus on the small sphere over here. So we focus on a signal that's on the edge. So focus on this part right here and this part right here. And we'll see where it hit detector. Right here. Detector right here. So, and how much is this? Well, let's have a look at the question. What did the question say? Axis with a high activity circular part with a radius of 10 centimeters, which means that wait, it's a radius of 10 centimeters. Alright, so that means that this part right here is 10. So we have a value at plus 10 and a value at minus 10. So we can put it in here. I said this is minus 10. And here we say plus 10. Alright, so the mark over here and here. Let's do again another detector. Another projection at 90 degrees. But if you look at this object, you might have an idea how this object look like. How this object might look like, because it is an object that is centered around the origin and it's a spherical object. So again, in red here, again here. So again, this is now here we have again minus 10. This is plus 10, because this is the minus side of the detector, this is the plus side of the detector, and the detector here is at origin. So keep that in mind. So again, at 90 degrees, somewhere halfway, 90 degrees, we have again a mark here and a mark here. Well, we can do it for 180 degrees. Another detector over here. If you do it over here, oh, this is a longer detector. Alright, let's see over here. Then we have plus here, minus here. Then again we get the signal. Oh wait, should be on the red. Then again we get the signal here and over here, which is again over here minus 10 and plus 10. Let me see this correctly. Yes, minus plus 10, minus plus 10. Yes, I did it correctly. Alright, so put it in here. And so as you might have guessed for this object is a little straight line over here, and this is the sinogram for the object, for a spherical object centered around origin. This is how the sinogram look like. Alright, so now we will focus on the ellipse one, which is a bit more challenging. Alright, let me erase everything. I'll later put back the degrees. Alright, so now it's clean enough. So now we'll focus, for the second part of the sinogram, we will focus on the ellipse object. Alright, put that in degrees. 0 degrees, 60 degrees. Should be enough. 90 degrees. And 180 degrees. 170 is already there. Alright, so now let's look good to the question. And we'll see that the long axis is 50 centimeters. So that's, I mean, away 50 centimeters. And the short axis is 30 centimeters. Alright, so 50 and 30. So let's put it in. So from here till here, that line is, put it here, is 50 centimeters. And from here till here is 30 centimeters. Let's add in our detector. Over here. And again put in the marks. Alright. So now we again get the outer line, which is over here. So we get the longest part, which is over here. And over here. So what do you think the length is going to be when it hits the detector here and here? So again, this is the minus part of our detector. This is the positive part of our detector. So this part is going to be plus. But not plus 30, it's going to be plus 15. This part is going to be minus 15. So now we can put a mark. Let's use a different color for the mark. We have a mark at 15. Let's say 15 is over here. 15, 15. So we have minus 15 and plus 15. Over here. Again, we'll put the detector now at 90 degrees. So what do you think now? What will be the length now? What will be the length of R now for this projection? So we have our detector over here. Again, plus here, minus here. And of course, the 0 here. I make this red. So now we'll get the signal here. This part, because this is the outer part. Again here, this will be the outer part. So this will be now, let me see, plus 25. This will be minus 25. Alright, so maybe my sinogram is a bit too small, but let me just grab the whole well, let's say the whole border over here is minus 25, and on this side we will say it's plus 25. So again, we have our mark, and now we can do the same for again at another projection at 180 degrees, but you might get the idea how this sinogram will look like. So what we see over here, another detector, then we again add in the lines of the projection, and again you take the outer part. So again you take this part over here, same as we did with this detector. You take this part over here, this part over here, and again you get here, this part is the minus part of the detector, this is the plus part of the detector. So here the R is minus 15, and here the R is plus 15. Did I say that right? minus 15 plus 15? Yes, I did. Now put it in the sinogram. So a mark at minus 15 and at plus 15. And now you can draw your sinogram, which looks like this. If I do it correctly. Like this. And this is how your sinogram will look like. So again, in the blue is then the sinogram of the ellipse, and then in red is the sinogram of the circle. So this is how it will look like. And now we'll go to part B, the other sinogram. So let me erase all of this. Now the object will be slightly tilted, and same for the spherical object. Let me erase all of these. Can this one be bigger? Like this. Alright, so let me see. Alright, I think this should be clean enough. Alright, let me remove this image. Let me see. This one, let me add in the other image. Alright, so the angle is, it's rotated by 45 degrees, so that might be important to remember. Add this one in. So now we have our new image. Alright, so let's start again with drawing in the starting angles. So we have 0 degrees, we have 90 degrees. As you can see, the starting angle is given. So this is 0. This is then 180 degrees, 270 degrees. Let's put that in. 360 degrees. Alright, so let me check. This angle was 45 degrees. This length was, how much was it? 30 again? Short axis 30 centimeters. Alright, so 30 and 50. So this was 30 centimeters, and this part was 50 centimeters. Maybe this is a bit too much for now. I will keep it like this for now. Alright, let's first focus on the sphere, on this part right now. So again, put in the R, 0. We have the plus side, we have the negative side, we have the angle going this direction, starting at 0, 180 degrees at the bottom, and then put 90 degrees in the middle. Alright, so let's now start with making a projection at 0 degree angle. Let me grab this one, 0 degrees. Again, this side is plus, this side is negative. Here we have 0. So again, where do we get a signal? We get one at 0, and we get one at, what's the radius again of this thing? I think it was 10, with radius of 10 centimeters. Aha. So the radius is 10 centimeters, so which means that this part here is minus 20. Alright, so we have a mark at 0 for the small spherical object, and at minus 20. I think this is minus 20. I think here minus 20 and 0. Alright, so now we'll do another detector at 90 degrees. this is nice. So now we again get the signal over here and the signal over here, and this is again 0 of the detector, and this is the plus side, this negative side of a detector. And let's see, we get again a value at -10 for R and at +10 for R, because the radius is 10. So now we'll put at 90 degree, this is the line of 90 degree, we put a mark at +10, I think roughly around here, and -10, and here +10. So +10, -10. Then we'll make another projection at 180 degrees. Let me see. And what do we see over here? We get again a signal, or the R at 0, and the other part is it minus or plus? We have to find this as minus again, this is plus. So now we get what? +20. So we'll put a mark at 0 again, but now also a mark at +20, which is roughly, I think roughly over here. So now we can make a sinogram for a spherical object, which looks roughly like this. And because it's a spherical object, the width of the sinogram should be the same throughout. And I think it does roughly. Alright, so this should be bit of straight lines. Oh, sorry, I mean the width should be the same. Alright, should roughly look like this. Alright, for the next part, we will have a look at the ellipse object that is rotated by 45 degrees. So let me now remove this all again. Now I'll leave this part in here. Alright, let me put it in. Let me see, let's put the degrees in. So again, 0 degrees, 360 degrees. This is angle of 45, 90 degrees, 180 degrees. Alright, so now you need to start thinking, alright, what is the best approach, or where should I place the detector? So again, this is the starting angle at 0. This is the starting angle, but it does not mean you need to start at 0 degrees. You can also start measuring at a different angle. So this is the starting point, but you don't need to start at 0, if that makes sense. So what would be a smart move, or at what degree would you make the sinogram? At which part would you put the detector? Well, you know these sides right here. This one was, I think it was 30 if I don't forget, and this side here was 50. So these are the more easier sides, because these are the length that are given in the question. Let me see, check, 30 and 50, yes. So it makes sense to, wait, this angle should actually be the angle 45. This is 45 degrees. This is a bit, I don't know. This should be 45 degrees. So it would make sense to place the detector also at 45 degrees, because it's easier to get the value for R, to get the length. So let me put a marker here. So what would be again the R that you read off? So again, we put, let me see, this is 0, this is minus the detector, this is plus. So again, what would be the signal that you get, the R that you get from this this angle? So have a look. So this part is 30. So again, here we would get plus 15, and here we will get minus 15. So now again, I'll put it in the sinogram, but I won't put it at 0. This is at our starting point at 0, but we put the detector at a degree of 45. So somewhere here we have 45 degrees, and here we can put in the marks. Let me see. Minus 15. I think minus 15 somewhere here, and then on the other side my plus 15, I think somewhere over here. All right, that should be the mark. All right, let's have a look at another rotation. What should be the next rotation? What should be the next part where you should place the detector? You might have an idea that the detector should be around here. Which is basically 45 degrees plus 90 degrees, which ends up at 135 degrees. So now we have 135 degrees, which ends up, I think, here, 135 degrees. Let's see. And now if we again look at the R from the ellipse, we will see a signal over here, and we get a signal over here. Again, this was 0 of the detector. This was the minus side. This was the plus side. So we'll get, let me do it correctly, minus 25 and plus 25. So now we'll put this mark in our sinogram. Let me see, minus 25, minus 25. I think that is somewhere. Let me just take this as minus 25 and this as plus 25. So I think you start to see a pattern here. So with this object, it goes from wide to small and then again to wide. So now we can start drawing in the sinogram. Of course, you can make more projections. You could maybe make another detector. Oh, you can maybe make another detector. Let me put this one here. Another detector over here. Which would be at how much is this? Is 135 plus 90 degrees. Then you end up at 225 degrees. This would again give you minus 15. Let me see, this is 0. It will give you minus 15 and plus 15, but that's already of the sinogram which we were drawing from 0 to 180 degrees. So now you can start in drawing your sinogram, and will roughly look like this. So now we'll come back again. Come back. So here it's wide, and then it starts to grow again. So it will look roughly like this. So the blue part of the sinogram is your ellipse, and the purple part is the circle. So this was question 3, and good luck with the next question. Thank you.